Hello, welcome to another of the Red9 demos. I want to run through the lock channel UI and the AttrMap concept in this one. Lock channels is a really simple UI. The top part is pretty self-explanatory. All it's doing is locking channels that you define. So I can select a single node and I can go translates, rotates, etc. And I can just go lock, unlock, hide, unhide, etc. All really simple stuff. A lot of it you can do through here, right-clicking. What you can't do right-clicking through a lot of this is you can't, for example, multi-select all this and give it a specific header and say I only want to lock this specific attribute. The other thing you can't do really is lock everything. So, for example, I can take the entire hierarchy of this and I can lock every single channel or unlock every single channel in an entire rig structure, which is quite useful. Let's just take these three off. This user defined here is basically everything that isn't part of a standard mayor transform. So in actual fact, let's take the root world on this guy. He's got an awful lot of specific channels that have been put on, and that's what user defines are. So we'll lock those and lock them up, unlock them. Again, fairly easy stuff to do. The specific header is one that you can type in. So if there's extra attributes buried deep inside the structures that you know you want to lock or unlock, you can specify that. And again, this is a hierarchy, so I can select the root of this guy and do every single channel that matches this parameter here. But the real power comes through this attribute map. Now let's say this is a final rig. Let's just lock the scales up. Get those out of the whoops. Unlock, sorry. Hide the scales out of the way. Let's say this is a final production rig, and you've very carefully gone through and you've locked every single channel, so you've only exposed what you want the animators to actually go away and use. Very often it's quite useful to then, if you need to debug the rig, unlock everything so you can regroup, restructure if you need to, but then how do you get it back to the state you had it before? And that's where the AttrMap comes in. What I can do in this guy is I can select the root, I can say hierarchy, and I can go store AttrMap. And I'm going to store this data here. And let's wait for that to reload. Okay, it's not going to reload. This is one we stored out earlier. This is basically shows what's in this. Oh, there we go. Basically shows what's in this data, and it's every single channel and every single node in this hierarchy and the state of the channels, so whether it's non-keyable, whether it's locked, whether it's keyable. And what I can now do is I can come into Morpheus and I can go, this guy, I'm going to unlock every single channel on Morpheus and open up every single group node. So I'm going to unlock, and I'm also going to unhide everything. Okay, and that's unlocked and unhidden every single node in this whole hierarchy. So if we select this, we've got scales open. If we select the neck, we've got scales open, visibility open. Basically, it's every single channel on this node is now exposed and for us to open. More importantly, if we've got subnodes down here that we'd locked up out of the way, those will all be unlocked as well, which is great because you can now go around and debug this rig properly. But as I say, if you wanted to get this data back, we can call back on the attribute map. So if I, for example, just select the wrist, I'm going to take the hierarchy off, load the data from the attribute map, and what it's going to do is extract how this thing was stored out from that map itself. And that's either on a selected set of nodes or it's on the entire hierarchy. So I can go to hierarchy and I can go load attribute map and it'll load every single node back as it was, which is great because it's a safe thing to do for the animators. Let's just lock that back up again. Okay, and what's even better about this is not only can I store this thing to file, I can store this internally on the rig. So if I select this controller here, I can go serialize AttrMap to node. You'll notice these two buttons here change, and I'm going to set that to be this node here. And I'm going to go save. Save. And what that's done is that's built the dictionary up and it's thrown that dictionary onto an attribute on this node itself called AttrMap. So this rig is now carrying around its own structures. And I can quite easily go to this node. Let's just unlock everything and unhide everything again. And I'm going to go load AttrMap internal. So it's going to load the data back from that internal node now. Back it goes. So again, it's a really nice way of just carrying around the status of a rig with itself. We use this in production quite a lot and it's proved really useful. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.